Here's Guy Wehman, Ben Brunson, and Frank Vernuccio inside the news.
Welcome back to our last segment of Inside the News. Glad to have you with us on our radio affiliates. And that's where we started 6 years ago. And we are enjoying 6 years of broadcasting on the air. And now we're on YouTube, SoundCloud, and the AUN TV network, AUN-TV.com. Frank Vernuccio, top left. Ben Brunson in the bottom middle. My name's Guy Wehman. I'm on the top right. Okay, Frank, we're going to go to you. The Epstein-Maxwell saga. Epstein, they say he committed suicide. I don't buy that at all. And now Maxwell, they got to keep her alive, but she knows where all the bodies are buried. No pun intended.
Maybe literally. I do apologize. Generally, I do a great deal of research for this program, but I haven't come up with the answer to when her suicide is scheduled for yet. So, that's going to be the real story behind all this. She certainly has a treasure trove of information on the clients or the folks that Epstein dealt with. It is going to be fascinating to see what kind of deal is going to be struck, and for her to give up the names of the clients of Epstein in return for a shorter sentence. It is really going to be one of those cases that I think everyone's waiting to see whether this actually goes about, or whether she somehow vanishes from the scene, or even whether the prosecutors have the guts to confront some of the big names who are going to be exposed by what she is about to testify on.
You know something, Ben, this puts Elliot Spitzer and Ashley Madison to shame, because this is huge, isn't it?
Well, it is huge, and it cost Jeffrey Epstein his life, because the evidence to me is fairly conclusive that he was murdered and did not commit suicide. I was hoping that they would move her to some undisclosed location, a military base somewhere. Instead, they're recreating the same pattern. A special facility in New York with 24-hour surveillance and specially trained guards, all the things we heard about Epstein's case. And then it turned out the guards were completely incompetent, asleep at the switch. The video hadn't worked in forever. I guess we're going to repeat history. So the least insurable person on this planet is Ghislaine Maxwell.
You know something, that is and we got to get to our hot button topics, but you know something, Frank, that is truly amazing, is that they're repeating it. And I don't think they just, these guys just happen to be incompetent. I think they handpicked those guys and they turned the other way. And because, for the cameras to be off too, unbelievable. Frank, you can come on that, or maybe your hot button topic.
Well, I think there was a traffic jam at the prison where Jeffrey Epstein was. So many people were trying to assassinate the guy, whether it was British Secret Service or a couple of the Clinton people, and they must have bumped into each other and probably had to come to some kind of agreement about who is going to actually do the deed.
Yeah. All right. Hot button topic, Frank.
One of the topics that we have discussed a lot on this program, but the general media has ignored, is the direct military threat from China. The Senate has just passed the National Defense Authorization Act, which shifts a lot of funds, finally, to defense against China. This is going to be the story of the coming decade. It is absolutely crucial. Whether this budget holds up in the House of Representatives is highly questionable, but the fact is the Senate has taken a realistic step and has shifted a lot of funds directly to countering China in the Indo-Pacific region.
Okay, Ben Brunson, your hot button topic for this day.
Well, I'll go back to one of my perpetual hot button topics, Iran. The Israelis have done the world another great favor. They have sabotaged a facility at Natanz. Natanz is the big centrifuge facility that Iran uses to enrich uranium. They sabotaged a facility where Iran was building their advanced IR-6 centrifuges, which are far more efficient than their older ones. They very successfully bombed that facility, got a bomb inside of it, and apparently has destroyed the entire facility and their ability to produce IR-6 centrifuges, which is not an easily recreated capability. So kudos for the Israelis for setting the Iranian nuclear ambitions back at least some number of months. It's been an ongoing campaign. The CIA has been involved working with the Israelis. It's better than a hot war where we have to go bomb those facilities. But inevitably, unless the regime is changed out in Iran, which is, again, like China, not on the foreseeable future, we will have to bomb those facilities to keep that regime from getting nuclear weapons.
All right. All right. Hey, Ben, thanks. We had a good show today.
Thank you, gentlemen. It's been a pleasure.
And Frank, up there in New York State, keep the faith.
I will try. And deepest sympathies to the family of Jose Maxwell. Oh, sorry. That's a little bit premature.
This is Inside the News. Thank you so much for listening. And thank you for watching on the AUN TV network. We'll see you again next week.
You're listening to Wehman, Brunson, and Vernuccio, Inside the News.